Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to class. Let me add Danielle. It's the amazing Danielle Wickes. Oh, look, there's a picture of you behind us. I could get rid of that. There we go. Danielle, I am still in disbelief that I got to meet you.
Me too. But I got to meet you, not me.
Danielle and I went out for drinks 2 nights in a row at Bead Fest, and it was so much fun. I think both I saw also with Kirsten of TR Cast. It was just so lovely getting to meet both of you in person, and my goodness, can we talk about beads forever?
Oh, right? Seriously. It's so cool.
When Danielle gets going on an idea, she's like Danielle has endless ideas, and Kirsten wants to do all of them. And it was so cool to see you just collaborate, and it's just fun. So it was just a joy to meet you.
We had a good group family. That's fun.
Your dad is such a charmer. Your mom is so sweet. Her dad bought me a drink. I'm just saying. He's like, what are you getting? I was like, oh my God, what?
When I was younger, in high school, my friends used to come over to hang out with my dad.
Literally, he's so funny.
He's that cool. Okay. He's like,
and I gotta meet both your kids and your husband. Danielle brought the whole family out.
We did a family vacation. It was kind of
I felt like I was part of your family vacation.
Yeah, you were. Your bestie was here.
True. I'm sorry he wasn't feeling good at the end. Is he feeling better?
He is, yeah. He perked up, as the kids do.
Okay. I'm glad. So everyone, welcome to today's class. We're gonna jump in pretty quickly because we've got a lot of ground to cover, a lot of seed beads to be stitched today.
But beautiful.
Beautiful seed beads.
Beautiful tiny seed beads.
So if you have the Owls of the Earth kit, raise your hand in the comments because I know lots of folks scooped it up. We actually sold out of it and got some requests to make more. So Rachel was able to assemble 7 more kits. That's nearly identical, only 1 bead we had to swap. So for all the links, look in the video description. We have 7 of a version 2 of this kit available. And there's more than enough beads in the kit. We didn't do it so that you can get exact number of beads. It's just more like a mini bead box, and Danielle has made already 2 really lavish pieces out of it. And I think you've made some extras from there.
I kept going. Yeah.
So definitely grab this kit. It's a fun one. And I don't know why I called it Owls of the Earth because it just made sense to me. I don't know what you would have named this kit, Danielle.
No, it's a great name. It's earth tones and it has the owls in it, and it's just got a fall feeling. It's a great name.
Kind of up your alley.
Yeah.
We also are announced today that we are going to do another kit class together at the end of September on September 23rd. And the kit's not available for purchase today, but you can pre-order. Which basically means put yourself on the wait list, and then when it's available for purchase, then it'll be in your cart. So it's available for pre-order in 2 ways. The way that's easiest is if you get the Sam's Bead Shop app. If you look at the homepage right now, you'll see, I'll make this a little bigger. You'll see right at the top are these 2 beautiful peyote stitch necklaces using Danielle's lantern technique. And all you do, actually, I should actually show this because the app is very new. We just announced it. Is if you click on one of them, it'll say add to waitlist right there. And if you click that, it'll then add it to your waitlist list. And you can join the waitlist for both or one, either whatever you like. And then when we release the kit sometime this weekend or on Monday, it'll go right into your cart and you can purchase it. And that's the first time we're doing peyote stitch with Danielle, I believe. I don't think we've done it together yet.
No, we've right angle weave, I think, is the only one we've tried out of the stitch families.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool.
And it features the joy caps from TR Cast did you partially invent those or something?
No. Those are invented by TR Cast, and I worked with Alan, who was their inventor, to adapt what they had as a lampwork, glue-in lampwork and peg. And he had already finished designing them when they sent them to me to test them.
Okay.
I just got to enjoy creating samples and doing some work with them and some tutorials and things like that.
I mean, look how gorgeous this is. So the main technique we're going to focus on is the seed bead portion right here. And so we're going to do that beautiful peyote and use the joy caps to kind of make this its beautiful section of the necklace. And then Danielle has filled it with lovely beads from the shop. And I'm very excited for this class. So this is colorway 1. And we do have another colorway, but go check the app to see the purple colorway because they're both gorgeous. For today, we're going to go ahead and jump in for today's class, which is the Owls of the Earth kit, which there is a PDF available for, which I've uploaded to Gem Chat. So you can go snag it there. It's also linked in version 2 of the kit. Maybe Rachel can also put the link here. We'll have it in all the places, but Gem Chat, I know it's there. And it's a really cool PDF where folks can kind of follow along what we're going to do today, right?
Yeah, it's a twofer. It's got both the necklace and the bracelet in there. Sweet. Which weren't the only things I did with the kit. I had to pick 2, right?
I'll add your overhead so we can kind of get a little sampling. It might need to get, phone might just need to get turned back on.
You know what? It went to sleep for some reason. Does it always?
Gosh darn phone.
Weird. There we go. Is it alive again? There we go.
It's alive.
Yay. So here's the ones that are in here's the PDF, and the Laureate is here. Lariat or Laureate? I don't know.
I've always said Lariat, but I'm not the authority.
Me either. And so yeah, the Lariat's here, and then of course there's a bonus PDF for the bracelet. And I may have gone crazy with the butterfly icons. Sorry. But that's not something. Oh, I know. I was just playing. I just saw so many that I'm going to cover the whole page.
Danielle does the best PDFs. It's so smart. Why didn't I think to actually print mine out? Like I was like, oh, I have the digital version, but having it printed out is so much more convenient. That makes so much more sense.
It helps when you're teaching it, just to have a reference.
Definitely.
Just if you do so many things that you go, oh, how many counts did I use for that or this? It's handy. Definitely. But that's not all I did with it. After that, I came along and did another bracelet because mainly I wanted to show that you can focus on the brown seed beads in the mix instead of just using the green. I went really heavy on the olive green because I love it on this design here. But you can do the brown, and I just left out the green here.
Oh, it actually makes a whole different palette with the same bead. That's so cool.
Yeah. And there were so many of the large beads, there's the jasper and this, I call this the heart acorn. I wasn't sure what to call it. It looks like a heart acorn.
Let's go with it. I hadn't seen that shape before.
Me either. Rondell, that one. And then this beautiful, Picasso bicone.
Yeah, isn't it this carved bicone? I'm obsessed.
But you gave me so many beads that even after making all of these, I had enough for another entire necklace.
Oh, and is that with the stitch you taught at Bead Fest?
Yes, this is the one I taught at Bead Fest, and it's using the twin beads from the kit and some of the seed beads as little spacers around it.
That's so cute. If someone wanted to look up what would they look up for that stitch?
Well, I taught it for Michael's as well. It's a chain, seed beaded chain.
Someone can maybe find that class of yours from Michael's if they wanted to make that.
Yeah, and I can if someone really wants to see it, I can link them to it. And I'm wondering if maybe the Bead Fest demo might not be live because that one used actual twin beads.
Yeah.
Or super duos as well. You can do either.
I literally got to Bead Fest as Danielle was demoing. So I got Meredith and I were there sitting in Danielle's class. I was just wide-eyed. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That was a fun demo.
I think I was smiling the entire class. I think I was in awe that Danielle Wickes was right in front of me.
You cheered me up when I saw you because I was starting to get nervous in that class.
Well, I was worried I was going to make you nervous because I came and sat in the front row. No,
it actually it's funner. If I'm feeling the only one talking, that's when I get the most I don't know, I don't have words, but if someone else says something, I'm like, thank God somebody said something.
I applauded when
please somebody's cell phone ring or do something.
I know. So where do you want to begin with today's class?
Let's see. Let's just maybe start with the necklace just because it's the first one in the PDF and go from there.
Sounds good.
They're both pretty easy. I feel like they're going to go pretty quick, but I was just going to do mini versions so you can see everything start to finish because there's a lot of things where it repeats the same kind of ad-libbing over and over again. And when you see it once, you'll get it. You you won't have to see it 4 times to, pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
But the hardest part, or not hard part, but just the most like unusual part is just the start and the finish of it, really, which is creating this little tassel-y thing. And you don't have to do just 2, or you could do just 1, you could do 3, however many you want. And then this little loop that it can go through. So when you're wearing it, it actually looks really cool on, because you can wear it kind of sideways, depending on where you trap the little loop. So you get those through there. And because there's so much volume here to catch it, when you're wearing it, it can just stick underneath there.
Ooh.
So when you have it on, it kind of hangs like that.
A lovely no clasp piece.
Mm-hmm. No
Or
clasp
like or like a 7 wrap bracelet.
Yeah, it could be that too. But I like the way it hangs, because it kind of, when you're wearing it, you can wear it like where it hangs like that on you, right? Sideways. And it works. And it surprised me too. We were trying it out. My mom wasn't walking around wearing it, and you can wear it like that.
Like with the tail coming to the back?
Mm-hmm. It kind of goes on the side. It's really cool. Because this will catch it here at the top. It kind of catches the weight of it. And so while it's hanging, it does something that's kind of like that.
Pretty. Oh, yeah. I love that you use that green to like really bring out some of the earth tones.
It was my favorite color in that check mix. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So where does one begin? We have obviously the supply list is in the PDF. So where does one begin?
So here's the kit, and I just wanted to start with what everyone would have in front of them, so it would look like just right out of the bag, right? So this is the seed bead mix. These are size 10 check seed beads, and they're beautiful colors. That's a travertine on chalk, and there's a copper line, like a copper lined olive green, and then an opaque olive green. These are 2-hole twin beads, kind of like a super duo, but a little smaller, and a little bit of a different shape.
And Danielle picked out the colors for the seed beads and these twins beads to go with the palette that we made. So that's a custom mix you can't purchase anywhere else. Danielle picked out the precious, the seed beads. So you get some lovely John bead seed beads in this kit, and you get a lot of them. It's like 20 grams in that tube.
Yeah, this is a big tube, and I still have half a tube left after making all the pieces I just showed.
Oh my gosh.
Because I built like a tube, just like you were going to have to follow, so I wouldn't go over. And I thought I was going to go over, and I never got near it.
Amazing. We have a few more tubes of that if folks want to purchase just the tube of it, because I just thought it was such a cool mix Danielle came up with.
I loved it. I think it's a really fun one. I love making mixes. So. Oops, there we go. All right. So I used Wildfire for this 0.006. And I just saw Meredith in there. Hey, Meredith.
Hi, Meredith.
And so this is the color green that I used inside. Sam, how do you feel about using green tonight? Should I switch to black, or is it?
I can see it's green's showing pretty dark. That's kind of nice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll stick with that then.
I think by Danielle's recommendation and Meredith, we have multiple colors of Wildfire in the shop now. And one of the ones we definitely recommended folks for this kit was the green, because it matched so well with the palette.
It's beautiful. It's like the perfect color choice. You could also go with the beige. They would both look great. Like I think on the bracelet over here, where I just stuck with the browns, I think I did some beige on that. But really, it all works.
You know what color unexpectedly sold the best of any of the Fire line?
Yeah.
I keep switching the name. Wildfire, which is Beadalot's product. The blue. Folks snagged the blue color.
The blue color. That's a gorgeous one. Like
yeah.
That one. Jules uses that one a lot. The blue. That was what she was demoing with at Bead Fest.
It is really nice. I just wasn't. I thought people were gonna go for like the neutrals, but like the blue is where folks snagged the Wildfire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I love them all. They're all really beautiful. And let's see. I'm gonna cut. So for the full length, it's kind of a lot. I think it really depends on how long you want your necklace to be. But at a minimum, you're going to want to cut at least 3 times your desired end length for your lariat, or however long you'd like it to be. And I know that seems like a lot, but there's a lot of looping around and stuff. And so that's why I recommend that, but I'm not cutting that much now because it kind of gets really tangly on the camera. And I'm going to do a mini lariat, like a little baby one, just so it can be finished, you know, from beginning to end. All right. And so this is a, oh, what's that?
Like a doll size lariat.
Yeah, like a doll lariat. And this is a size 10 hard beading needle. And so I think you had those in the shop too, right? The size.
That's also from Beadle on there, yeah.
And Meredith had taught me a trick that I just kind of did while we were chatting is I flattened the end with my chain nose pliers of the wildfire, and I got it through my needle that way. That can help you thread it. And so already out, I've got my twin beads. I've got owl. I've got some of these beads here. I'm going to get the mix open. Let me just dump that out. And as far as how like you mix up your colors, you can just do those any way you like. I'll try to stick with what I did before just to show it, but there's no rules. But I started building mine with this part first. And again, that's not even a rule either. You can really start anywhere. You can start in the middle and build down. But I'll just start here for, you know, the sake of showing kind of like the hardest part first. I strung one of these first. Let me grab some scissors and cut this. We were calling this one the acorn heart beads.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't even know because like it's like the only time I'm ever gonna see this check bead. I got it once on a closeout, and I was like, we have to use this in the kit. I don't think I'm ever gonna see it again. It's so
really?
random.
Oh, I'm gonna hoard them now. For sure. No, it's beautiful. And so all I did really is I just kind of strung down through because I'd like it to be, you know, facing like the heart shape up for the side.
Oh, that's so cute.
Kind of like a little heart with the owl. And just coming down through there. And leave enough tail that you can weave in, but you don't need too much, maybe like 10 inches or something, 7 to 10, give or take a few. And what I'm going to build first is this little loop here. And then we'll head up and go through the owl. We'll connect here and we'll come back down and make the second little strand. So through the little heart bead there. And just wanted to make sure I say before I keep just speeding along, it's all in here. So if you forget, you don't have to like memorize anything I'm saying. It's all there for you.
Thank you, Danielle.
I just like, it's so hard with seed beads, you know, like to remember, 2 here, 4 there. So
no, it made for the first seed beading class I ever did with you, like which was a Michael's class, like it made it a world of difference. I think I had the PDF open like even during the class, like all like side by side on the screen. Oh my gosh, it's so helpful.
I feel like it, yeah, definitely. I always appreciate it too. Because my memory is like, yeah, what? I don't know. That's funny. Oh, and you can use a stop bead up here if you want. I didn't do it, but if it's easier for you, just throwing a stop bead on there is a great idea. You can take it off in the next step.
Right. And by stop bead, you just mean basically put on a bead and tie a knot on it so it will hold your string.
Oh, not even a knot really, but like you just string the bead and then go back through it in the same direction you did the first time.
Okay. Thank you.
And then see that bead just kind of sticks on there like that. Slide it down so you have the amount of tail that you want. And it'll just keep your bead from falling off.
Awesome.
But it's optional. It's just
a good tip for folks who are maybe newer at seed beading too, like myself.
I'm really bad about skipping that step, so it's good to mention it too. And so as far as these counts, I'm going to go ahead and share my counts, what I'm doing, but you're not stuck on them. You can make any counts that you like that look pretty to your eye. But what I did is I strung 4 of the beige seed beads. These are actually called travertine on chalk. And they're really pretty. I strung 4 of those. And then I went with 2 of the opaque olive and 2 of the copper line olive. Brought those on. And then I'm just do a loop of these little twin beads. 7 of them in total is what I did there. Okay, so there's 7 of those. And then just repeating back up what I did. And I'm going to make only 2 of these and then go through those 2. So let me show you what I mean. So 2 copper line, 2 of the opaque, and now just 2 of the travertine beige colored ones. So let's see if you can see those there, those colors. And And then I'm going to go back through these top two right here. I'm going to lower my camera. I feel like it's really high. I wanted to show the whole lariat, but now it's like way too up there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a little better, I think. Yeah. So back through these two here. I skipped those. And back through those, and we'll get a chance to tighten all that up. And so there's our first little loop. I'm going to go ahead and pull that stop bead off now. I'm not going to need that anymore. And then just take a look at it. Do you like it? Did you miss a bead? Do you want to add anything? I liked it, so I'm just going to keep going. So here's where we are now. We're adding this part. So I'm just going to add 2 of the beige beads, opaques. I'm 2 of those, 2 of the copper line, and then I'm just reversing it back down to 2 here. And I'm going to get my owl. Bring that on, string that down. Okay. And so from here, what I did is I just did 4 beige. There's 4 of those. And I grabbed one of the jasper beads. And so this next part is optional as well if you like it. And this is where you have the opportunity to really change it up. And what I did on mine is I made these little halos of twin beads around my jasper beads. I just thought it was cool.
So that was one of my favorite parts of this design because it felt like there was these like sunbursts. Or like even like a little moon glow if we're doing owl theme.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling too. Like almost like a little sun and moon theme going. Because on some of them I just did one side.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really just playing like with whatever looked good to me at that moment. I discovered that 5 around was a pretty good number if you add a seed bead first. But you can always play with that count and try something different and see what looks good to your eye. You can maybe try to get 6 in there without the seed bead, or I just went with that because it looked good to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it will work either way. And you have so many beads, you're not going to run out. So I got one of those. That's a copper lined one. Let me get 5 of these on there. And then one more copper line. And so from here, just go back through your jasper bead. And so you'll just have one side done for now. We want to come back down here and make our other little frond. So I'm going to travel down through those beads that I just made and then back through here to get to the bottom of my owl. That's the other cool thing about this is that you have room to turn or places to turn, which is great for a lot of stuff like weaving in, reinforcing, and changing direction. All things that I want to do here. Okay, and so just coming back down this way through those 4 beige beads that are there. If your tension is loose at all, don't worry about that because it's going to get tightened up. We have to go through these things a couple of times as we travel around, so it's going to get all tightened up. So don't worry too much about tension at the moment. And this will get woven in up here, so you'll have a chance to like tighten all that up. And as you get going, it just naturally gets tighter anyway. And so now I'm back underneath my owl. So what I did is I went down through here. I went through these 4 beads here through the owl, and I'm at the bottom of the owl here. So now I'm just going to make this other little strand. And it's the longer of the 2, but it's the same pattern. I'm going to pick up the 2 beige, 2 opaque, olive, copper. I'm going to repeat that down. And then I'm going to add this kind of strand to just take me down to below my acorn heart. I think the count there it's in the handout, but it's 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about 10. Looks like it's about 10 there. So I'm just going to do that real quick. I'm just going to string those. So there's that first little pattern there. Let's get the 10 beige.
I think it's that beige that keeps calling to me. there's something about that brown that I feel like I'm going to want to use as a spacer just in anything.
Oh yeah.
But then you threw in that like brighter, like more neon type green. It almost like has the look of like the Terras that you like.
Those are so cool. Yeah, there's like one that I feel like it looks lime, but then when you put it next to stuff, it doesn't look lime anymore. So I can't really figure out what color to call it. Yeah, I
This
love
one
all
or
those.
another one?
Well, this one's definitely, like, to my eye at least, kind of more of an opaque olive.
Yeah.
But that one that I know, the one you're talking about in the Terra Intensives, and I don't know if it's lime or not. I feel like it's not lime. But my favorite bead. Obviously, you're asking it. What's your favorite bead?
We're throwing a question out to everyone watching.
Oh, okay.
But you by all means, we would love to know what your favorite bead of this kit is.
Oh, I mean, it's obvious. It's going to be this little guy.
Is it? It's the owls. Danielle's
Well, I
always
mean, the
loved
seed
those
beads
owls.
too, and the twin beads. So technically, I have 3, but if I had to pick just one bead.
Can you theoretically just keep adding on tassels as long as you can keep going through the owl bead?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no reason you can't. You can just keep right on going. And looks like I added the wrong colors here that I wanted to do. But yeah, no, you can do anything you want to. You can add any colors you want. And I was checking to see that I got that right, because I think the first thing, you want to do is add those and then come back down. And you guys are probably noticing it doesn't really matter what order you do these things in, because it's going to work anyway, right? So it really is freestyle. You can just start getting creative, going crazy, and just doing stuff that you like.
Yeah, I love that with this stitch. Do you call this a stitch itself, or what
Sort
would you call
of.
it?
I mean, you could even just call it stringing if you wanted, stringing and looping around.
It's when you first described it to me, it's like you described it as a really good stash buster that you can use the seed beads to basically bring any palette together, which is why I thought it was such a cool like first seed beading kit class, is that it lent so well to using pretty much any type of bead. So you gave me so much range to like get to pick out things for it, and then you found like the seed beads to go with.
Yeah, exactly. You can always find a seed bead to match something that you want to do with the beads that you've got. That's what I love about it.
It's also fulfilling my dream, Danielle.
Oh yeah?
Because one of the first things we talked about when I met you is like I wanted to see how seed beads could elevate gemstones, because I didn't feel like seeing enough. Or at least, I mean, there's so much going on, I couldn't see everything, but like generally, I didn't see seed bead work that really featured gemstones. They would pretty much mostly feature seed beads and then maybe some glass with them.
Yeah.
But you really showed that you can use gemstones with the seed beads really beautifully in all sorts of projects. And so I'm so glad we're doing this. We're showing that you can mix in beautiful stones. You could, like, theoretically, this could have been all stones and then seed beads. There's no reason.
Oh, for sure. And it can be the same gemstone strand, just repeated over and over.
Almost like a seed bead mala type thing with this technique.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all those ideas and more, they all work so nice. And so this one is it's almost complete, and you could go back around and start reinforcing. You can add more. I feel like we're going to be using that tail up there to reinforce a lot of this, so I'm going to just leave it with one pass for now. But what I did is I strung all of those beads for the return trip after I put the twin beads on. And this repeat here that I did down there at the bottom of the rondelle is the same thing that I did over here. I just matched it. So it's got the 7 twin beads, and just above it, we just looped around that rondelle with what was 8 opaques. And that's another count you can play with when you get your beads and you start looking at them and you see, oh, I like 8, or I like 9, or I like 7. Mm-hmm. It might be different for once you get going to see what you like. I'm going to say that a lot tonight.
Well, I think that's so nice with this. Like, it's a seed bead mix. So, and we clearly said there's plenty of seed beads work from, and we made the mix as equal parts of the mix, so you should have like a good amount of each then that you could vary what colors you want to feature. Like say you want to make a piece that features way more of the brown, like Danielle said, you should have enough beads to be able to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of extra. I think I even have enough to do like a little mini fringe earring, just from making those 4 pieces already. So I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of beads. 22 grams goes a long way with a 10-0 check.
And I was also so nice to see that the Preciosa was so uniform, because that was such a pleasant surprise. My other check C beads I've purchased for the shop, I was like, these are lovely. I'm gonna use them as spacers, but they're not that uniform, so I can't see recommending this to a C beater. But the Preciosa are pretty impressive.
I've always really liked them. They come out really nice, and most of the designs I make, I just find that they inspire more. So yeah, I'm glad you like them.
All right, I will let you. Sorry, I've
no, it's okay.
All the ideas, but I'll let you continue this beautiful necklace.
I was thinking I'd put another little side on this one, a little side of the twin beads.
Awesome.
Let's see, I'm doing 5. I think that's what I did on the originals. Yeah, it looks like I did 5. And you'll see me doing a lot of checking back to see, oh, is that what I did last time? Because it's freedom, right? You can just keep going, doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that part. So that's the beginning. That's the little stage 1 that I had set up. But there's no reason you can't head back down here, make another longer one. And you can, of course, change these up too. But so from here, where I was going to take it was just to kind of create a little strand and then bring that back down and show you how to finish the other side, which is creating that little loop that hugs the rest of the beads. And it's big enough that you can get all the beads through it. So I'm showing here, but still, yeah, you could go over the whole thing, but it's because it's got these little twin beads on it, wherever you decide to lock it. I'll show you when I pull this other one around it. It kind of, wherever you hook it, it locks, because the twin beads just kind of lock it in like little teeth. That's why I like ending those loops with those, because they end up making it not slide as much. So when you're wearing lariat, it's going to move. It's going to move around a lot, but it's not going to move super much. Like once you hook it underneath, for example, if you were to hook it underneath one of these, it's just going to stay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Little like subtle, almost clasp type.
Yeah, with this looks like a fall vine where the leaves are starting to fall off. Kind of what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
But they're crystal, so they're like fancy leaves.
Sparkly ones with some ice on them or something.
Yes.
And so right now I'm stringing what ended up becoming like my basic repeat in between all my little beaded segments, which is, I chose kind of beige, opaque, copper lined, and then back out.
Oh, fun.
And I just did that over and over again from here on for the body of it, where I would do that and then add another interest element, like another bead or another. And so in this one, I went straight to another rondelle. And I looped that rondelle with more of those opaques. And I've been using the count of 8 for those. So just stringing that down, coming back up. And same thing again. I'm just going to keep going, add a few more. And I thought I would do a repeat of like every bead in the kit and then finish the little mini to make sure there's lots of time for that bracelet.
That sounds good.
I feel like this is one. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm keenly very curious how much reinforcing you have to do during the main strand.
A little bit. Well, you'll bring your tail up, and then from here on the other side, you'll go loop around. And I think it's optional. And it's as needed. Like if you feel like it at the end, you can always just take a brand new strand of wildfire, loop around one of your bottom beads, go all the way through it again, do another loop or two on the other side and trim, and it would give it just another layer of security. When I created this one, I have a feeling what I did with it was that I didn't do that, but that I did extra looping around as I was sewing. Where that's how I gobbled up all that extra length that I had. So like, for example, after I make 3 or 4 repeats of this, I might go back, just make another little trip. And so you don't have to do an entire trip back through the entire necklace at the end, which might be, more of a less appealing idea, depending on what kind of beater you are. Some people love doing that. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to go to the bico next. But yeah, I think that is how I did it. So it's in a way a little bit like a square stitch variation, because you're going and making a full circle through something and then coming back and doing it again. I'll show you what I mean. Get these on there, get these on there. It's my little standard repeat there again. String that down, and I'm going to do another heart acorn, and then there'll be another jasper after this, and we'll do one of those little repeat turns.
How did you pick out where you wanted to do some extra looping around on a bead?
I started doing a pattern at some point where I made them match a little bit, but then I changed it up randomly in a few places just to see what it would look like. So I didn't have a real strategy in the beginning. It just was kind of what my hand felt like doing or what my eyes liked. And like, for example, on this one, you can see I just followed the real convention where that's even the same beads in the same order, the same number of loops going around.
I do notice you doing the extra looping around more round standard type beads. Is it easier to do the looping around those?
Yes. Yeah. Like on this one, if you did it on this one, it would cover up the pretty front of it. It wouldn't stay on the side. It would just go kind of splat in the front. And with the bicone, it would totally work though. So you could do the bicone, but the bicone is already, it's decorated, right? And I wanted to see it, so I left it out. But here's one where I did something different. I did a loop of color there. And down here, I did a halo on the rondelle. So I was really just kind of...
There's a lot up to the creator here.
Oh, yeah. At some point, I put my second owl in there. He sits a lot higher on the neck. He's like almost up on your shoulder when you're wearing it. Aww. And then this one is down lower on the necklace, depending on where you clasp it.
So nice.
That was really fun. And so I've got my next little repeat on there. Did I miss anything? No, I got it. And so here's another jasper bead. And I want to show you guys what I meant by going back through it in pieces instead of having to do it all at once at the end. So from here, I'm going to do one of my little circles around it. Grab some of these twin beads. And one more of those. And loop them through. Little tangle there, sorry. Just going to tighten that one down. There we go. I missed a few of those beads there, so I got to go back out. I don't even know how I did that. Look, I went through one of the outside holes. These beads have 2 holes, and I haven't really introduced that yet. It's important on the bracelet, but not here. But I accidentally went through an outside hole instead of an inside one. So just watch for that. Here, I'm going to travel through those. Okay, and now I'm going to go back down the strand here. And I'm just going to go to the next turning point that I've got, which is going to be that rondelle. So I'm aiming for the rondelle. But it's up to you where you turn, and if you even do this step at all, it's totally up to you. So just keep going. And so here's another place to turn. So just having these little embellishments, not only do they add beauty, but they have some function. So you can use them to achieve a goal. Like maybe your goal is to reinforce it. Maybe your goal is to turn. Maybe your goal is to weave in your thread.
I think it's helpful to see how you're doing like small sections of the seed beads at a time. I think that's a helpful thing for folks starting out with the seed beading also. That you can go through section at a time, and that works obviously very well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so too. It makes it less daunting.
Like you don't have to go through that whole inch set of seed beads, but somehow you just did.
Well, I know it's weird, but it actually kind of, once they're strung like this,
It gets easier.
Yeah. It does it on its own without you having to really try that hard. I said that and jinxed myself. Check this out. There we go. So here's this little baby lariat. I'm going to finish this other little halo on the other side. And then I'm going to show how to finish that end loop because that's the only thing we haven't seen left to show really. But it's actually the same thing we did before, just bigger. But so I just put a second little slide on that. Okay, and so again, these counts, totally up to you what you like. What I ended up doing was ending with a jasper bead like I did here. Oh, sorry, I'm off camera there. Sorry, guys. Let me scoot it up. Let's scoot it up. Okay. So I ended with a jasper bead here. And then I went on to a heart acorn. And then I made my loop. And this is, you can think of it almost like a buttonhole loop, really, because it's kind of, because you're putting all of your work through it. And if that gives anybody else an idea, you can take and, for example, instead of using a focal like this beautiful owl, you can make that a button. Go through your button and then just button over it. And I've seen lots of artists do that. That looks so stunning, and it hides your button loop behind the button. So it's just another thought to have there in your pocket. But I'm going to just finish this same way. I'm going to go real quick through grabbing that same little series of repeats that I've been doing. Total optional pattern there. Heart acorn. And for the loop on this side, I didn't do any of the following back through the first two beads. I just went straight for four beads, and then the two. So let's string that really quick here.
Do you have any of those leaf buttons nearby that we popped over to you? Because I wonder if that would match this colorway.
Yes, they do. I don't have them in the room. I can run and get them.
No, that's okay.
I have them down on my bead table because I was actually just playing with those. I love them.
I'm going to drop a link to them. We have these vintage leaf buttons in the shop, and there's one color in particular I'm thinking of in the bronze that Danielle has. I think would be
That's cool. The one you sent me. The bronze is the one I'm working with, and it is actually perfect with this palette.
Owls, leaves. I feel like they could their whole theme together now.
Oh yeah. They'll work on the bracelet too.
For the clasp, yes. I can't believe we're doing this necklace and the bracelet today. This is like a double trouble.
I know. It's kind of double trouble. But it's also if anyone has to drop off. I know we're going a smidge over, but you can always just catch the replay too. If the timing of the East Coast it's tougher.
Yeah. Any Danielle class that she's ever done at the shop is on the Sam's Bead Shop YouTube channel. And
I'm just so excited. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, this is the most watched class of all time for Sam's Bead Shop is a Danielle class.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure it's the class you did in December, the holiday party class.
Oh, well, that one we had everybody though, so kind of technically. Technically, it's an us class, like all of us class.
It was an us class, but then it was full of Danielle techniques. We did the bracelet and the stitched earrings, the brick stitch earrings. So I just think it's really cool that is one of the most popular classes.
That was another one where I just couldn't do one thing. I had to do 2 projects. And they're like, yeah, let's do that for an hour. Well, I just have so much freedom just to kind of do what I want with your classes. Like, so I do. It's fun. All I did here is something I've shown a couple times where, I just came up through all the beads and then used my halo up there to make a turn. And I'll just come down and reinforce all that and go up here. So there's a little baby lariat right there. It's so tiny. But that's pretty much the whole thing. Now, all left to do is reinforce and weave in. And I made a big mess on the mat, so I'm just going to get my little scraper and try to clean it up. What do you think? Is it? Does anyone need to see weaving in? I can show weaving in, but it's just basically me stitching through beads over and over again.
A little bit of it, so folks know what that concept is.
Okay. Yeah, it's basically following your existing thread through where it already is. And then wherever it is convenient to make a turn, if you make a turn, it locks your thread in even more. And so the more times you do that, the more secure your weave-in is. And then if you like to do knots, I know there's a lot of seed beaters out there, and Meredith was here earlier. She does lots of knots in hers, and it works really well. There's no reason not to, especially once there's no reason not to knot. When you get to the end, you don't have to go back through it. But I just have my habit of not doing it. So that's what I'm doing here. Just going through all the beads again. Also, this is a loop that's going to see some, pulling. So maybe giving it another trip through isn't a bad thing either.
I think Meredith's singing to you in the comments.
Is she singing to me?
Baby.
Oh my gosh. We were in another live together where we were joking about knots. And I missed the opportunity for like the most perfect pun. It was just too slow.
You got it. You're very good.
I'm obsessed with it.
I think when we did that knotting series with you, didn't we call that like it was something naughty something? I
it was Naughty February or something.
That is what it was.
Yeah, it was fun.
My gosh, that was 1.5 years ago. That's wild.
Was it? Gosh, man, time's
I just got all that silk back in stock finally again, so we might have to revisit some of those. Those knotting.
Yeah.
So fun.
Those were really cool. I liked those classes. We ended up with some really stunning visuals, I feel like, for that one, because we did a lot of just really great photography. And there was some mustard yellow, which my camera and that wooden background, mustard yellow loves it. Just
on your background.
I don't know why.
If anyone hasn't noticed, Danielle and I have the same background because Danielle sent me my background.
Oh, yeah. Those are fun. I just, can't find them anywhere but that one little shop. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go buy all of them.
I think you sent me at least 3. It's really, really helpful.
They're really good. They're matte. That's the kicker right there. Is like the iPhone likes matte background. If you've got glossy going on,
yeah, that's such a good photo tip. I have a really hard time taking photos on when the background's too shiny.
And wood is always lacquered. It's like it has to be lacquered, right? And I'm heading back down the original little strand I did over here, but you'll end up somewhere different on yours if you're weaving in the same way. Because I'll just reinforce this other one. But yeah, so that's in a nutshell weaving in. And I don't know if anyone had any questions on that still, but just a little bit of a quick weave in on those. And because mine's so short, I ended up back over at the start. But on one of yours, you'd have a lot of these places to turn. And you saw I turned here and I turned here. And every time you make a turn through one of these little like rondelle hops, it gets like this really popping look to it. It makes it just jump every time you reinforce it. Yeah. I'm going to just quickly close my door. My kid came in and opened it. Now it's loud. Clint, why? He came to show me something. I didn't look what it was because I stitching, but hopefully it was good and it wasn't on fire. So. My mom's here, so I don't have to worry about my kids right now. Like, yep.
So now someone does not, now that you've woven back in, you don't actually have to knot your remaining thread. You just thread burner it off? Do you just cut it off?
Yeah, thread burner or trim it, whichever. I probably will. I'm leaving this one loose because I have a plan where I'm gonna take it up. I'm gonna make mine full length later, so I didn't do any real knotting here, but I can still keep this end, and then I can finish over here, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is project number 1 for the
project number 1. Little abbreviated version. So I thought I would make a little baby bracelet next. So the bracelets here, I got a couple colorways of this one going because I wanted to practice the technique. And this is truly just a square stitch. This is what we've done before where we just made this little loop. The only difference is I took advantage of there being 2 holes to come over here and add a chain. Which ended up being super handy. So if you don't have any chain handy, you can use just some jump rings or, whatever you've got going on. You will need to get out the leaves from your kit and then just choose any of your favorite beads. So the leaves I'm using are these. Here's a bunch of other colors. So they're all over the shop, right?
I can't believe how many you have from the shop. Oh my goodness.
Well, so there's, I wanted to be able to show a label so you can get those dimensions going. They're 12 by 15 millimeters. And they have like a scoop. They look like a little spoon.
Yeah, we call these the petal leaves in the shop if you're looking for them. I think search petal leaf on samsbeadshop.com and you should be able to find any colors we have in stock. I see
good.
At least 4 colors available right now. It's such a great way to do them. And you call this a dragonfly bracelet?
I call it dragonfly, yeah.
Because the leaves become wings. Is that whole idea there?
Yeah, those look like they're kind of flying. That's cute. But yeah, so I'm just gonna jump into that real quick. And so for the for that part of the handout, you'll need start with some wildfire. Start with about, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 inches or so. And again, I'm going to use that green if that works. If you guys can see it. But I just got a restock of the black. They were out of it for a while at my local. And I just need to place an order online that I didn't. I always need it faster than that, like I always end up just one more spool. I'll just order one more spool.
Danielle, I think it's time for you to get the even bigger spool.
I do. I get the big ones.
Oh, is that? I thought there maybe was one more bigger, but that is the biggest.
So these are the ones. Yeah, I get these, which honestly, they'll last me about maybe a month and a half.
Oh my gosh! I think the ones we have in the shop, I think, are the 20-yard.
And that's plenty. You'll make 4 projects with that. That's like, unless you're teaching 4 times a week and making samples, you'll be fine. You don't need to have that much wildfire, but hey, there's no such thing as too much. And so all I did was I flattened the end and then brought it through that needle, still using that same size 10 beading needle. And I'm going to start stringing the first part of the design. So I did this kind of the same thing that we did before, where I got one of these little heart-shaped ones. And I went ahead and went through the heart shape, and this time it's facing down. So I went from the bottom to the top. And I'm just going to string a little pattern here. This one in the handout, I drew it different than I strung it because I did 2 different versions. And these counts don't matter. They're just decorative. They don't have to go over anything. They don't have to fit over anything now, unless you're doing a button. If you're going to do a button here instead of one of these loops, then do check your counts and do some measuring with your button. But for the most part, they should work.
I got Jane Rose, aka Michelle, asking about the 2-hole beads. I don't think we have extras of those 2 holes available in the shop right now, but Danielle convinced me to get like a dozen plus colors for the shop. So they're currently sitting custom, so they'll be here any day now. I believe
what colors did you?
What colors? Oh, I think basically all of the all of the ones that were a good price that I thought were pretty.
Did you get the Venus sunset color by any chance? Does that ring a bell?
I could open my list. I don't remember if there's one you sent me at the end. I don't think I got.
I can't remember if I sent you that one. If that was on my list or not. But there's some. Oh my gosh, there's some really pretty ones. Really gorgeous. But yeah, so there's I did that kind of quick. I apologize, guys, but I strung through the acorn bead, and then I made a loop, and then this is 4 twin beads here at the bottom. Let me hold that up. There's 4 twin beads, and that is in the handout here, shown right there, and then just came back up. So that's where I'm at right now. And now what I'm going to do is just string from where we are here. Just going to string what we want here and make a little turn, and then come back down, and we're going to do some turning around down here to add a chain. And I wanted to grab really quick a jump ring. Grab a few of these. And I'll just put one on for now. Okay. But I'm not going to string all of them. I'm just going to do a few so that you get the idea. And the color that you put in between them, totally up to you. You also don't have to use the same beads that I'm using for your stringing. Like I did this here. But you can use others. Here's some cool little bicones.
Yeah, that's actually cool to see because the bead we had to swap for the new version of the kit is the acorn hearts that you're using. And we replaced them with like a crackle drook bead. So like all of these would work so beautifully in this technique.
Oh yeah. No, that is a stunning bead. And the crackle drooks sound even amazinger. So I need to see those. I might need them.
I'm sure we could hook you up, Danielle.
I bet you I have them already, though, knowing me. I probably ordered them in the last live sale or something.
I'm trying to think if they're new. They're the crackle ones that we had in a bead box, but I think we got a bigger size of them, so we might have to send some over to you.
Oh, really? Ah, okay. Sweet.
I think you'd like them.
Yeah, they sound like my kind of bead. All right, so all I did here is, I made that little loop, went back through my acorn bead, strung a few more. Obviously, I would have string more for a full-length bracelet. And now what I've done here is I've just got 3 seed beads. Don't worry about the color. Any color you like is going to work. You'll need another twin bead. Go through that. And just go through one of the holes. But now this is where it's going to start to matter that we've got 2 holes in those twin beads because we're going to use them to turn. I'm going to come back through this one, down through here. And I know I'm going a little fast, but don't worry because we got that replay and you guys will be able to see it there too when you start working. And then there's the sketches too and the instructions. But I'm just going to match what I did in the colors here. Just going 1, opaque, copper, and string those. They're going to be exiting from that second hole of that 2-hole twin bead. So you see how it kind of just made a little loop around. You were able to travel around there. Go back through all the beads below. All those acorn beads and the little seed beads in between. Try not to miss them. Sometimes I miss them on my return trips. Come back down through there. Okay. Now pick a side, any side, and go down through your ring that's exiting from the bottom of that last little acorn heart bead. Go through all 4 of the twin beads. And noting that we're still working on the same inside hole. When they're strung, they kind of fan out in like a little fan shape. And we're still working with the inside hole. But from here, I'm going to bring it a little closer. I want to show you, I'm about to make a turn. So I'm exiting from that inside hole. I'm going to turn and go through the outside. So we traveled down, went through the twin beads, and now we're going to turn and go through the outside bead. String 1 seed bead. I went with a beige because it kind of blended in. You almost don't even see it. Then string your chain or jump ring. And I actually did 2 seed beads under mine just to kind of keep it for, I am using an oval shape, which helps with thread. But go ahead and string whatever chain you're using. And if you'd like to use seed beads optionally, go ahead and use those. Kind of like a way to make it not break through. go through the next outside hole of the twin bead. And then one more seed bead and go through the last outside hole of the next twin. And so that's how I did that connection there. From here, you just need to get back over to this other side. So make another turn. Go back through the inside hole of the twin beads here. Just making one more turn, going back through the inside. And through those next two. I can usually get through about 2 at a time when I'm doing these kind of like circular formations with them. And keep going up through the rest of the seed beads there and through all of the acorn beads above, or as many as you can get through in a swoop. Okay, so there's my little loop at the bottom with my little clasp attached to it. That's just to be cute. You can do any kind of configuration there that you want. I was trying to make it look like a little fan tail.
Very cute.
Thanks. Getting through the top bead here. Okay, so we're getting to the part where we're going to start building the wings. And this is really only the last thing to show. It's because it's repeated over and over until you get to the end of your bracelet. So I think we'll have lots of time to show. We can show at least 2 repeats of it.
Yeah, I'm very curious about this next part of how all the leaves get constructed together.
It's cool how it's built. I'm kind of a fan of like unique and weird thread pads. I get really excited about these things and I nerd out on them. And so I like to do it in one swoop. I don't like to have to go back, and I hate putting pieces together. So like, so I got to be one swoop with the needle, right? So I'm just going to walk you through it really quick here and then show it. So we're exiting from the top of one of these twin beads. And the first step is going to be just put on the wings. So we're going to string 3 size 10s, a leaf, 3 size 10s, use the twin bead to turn by going through both of those holes. Come back through 3 seed beads, going through a leaf, 3 seed beads, and then another trip around through the twin beads. We'll continue up and exit from the leaf. When you get to that, you'll be exiting here, and I've strung seed beads to cross over and then go up through that leaf. Then you flip the piece over, and exiting from that, just reinforce in a circle with those 3 on either side. Come back up and do it all over again until you get to the end. And at the end, it's the same thing again, where you just add a little loop to put your clasp on there. So here's what that looks like in. We'll do let's do 2 repeats of it, and then we'll put the little loop at the end. But from here, all you'll need to do is put on your 3 seed beads. Just any color is totally fine. When you're stringing your leaves, try to make sure they are in the position you want them to stay in. So these have a spoon side and a round side. So identify your spoon side, decide if that's your front, and then kind of put them as you want them, just like that. That's how I want mine to stay. So I'm putting them like that. They're going to be floppy at first, but they're not going to stay floppy. They're going to be reinforced. But as I'm working, I do kind of lay them out just so that I don't make a mistake and kind of miss the opportunity to put them where I want them.
I never noticed that there was a concave side to those beads.
Oh, you didn't? Well, truth be told, like
they're pretty.
they're really pretty. And so, I mean, like, here's an example. Here's the bowl side instead of the spoon side. Is it still going to look beautiful? Yeah, it's going to be great.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
I actually really like both sides of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, you really can't go wrong. It's if you noticed it and wanted to, it's just one extra thing you have to pay attention to while you're putting it together, but not required and doesn't really matter. I feel like it shows more on the darker ones. Like, I think on this one it shows a lot because on this side it looks very different. See how much different that. This has the wash going a lot more, going a lot on like that. But also just notice how this holds its shape, how it stays like that. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So it's kind of
curious if she doesn't have the twins right now, if she could swap in some mini duos.
Mini duos would be maybe a little, well, you know what? They might work. I think a super duo would be a better choice. Okay. But mini duo might work too. haven't tried it, so I can't say it won't work. It might just be a little tighter look, like it won't fan out a little bit. So what you'll get is these things might kind of top each other a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I don't know for sure, so it could. Super Duo I know will work because I think I've done something similar with the Super Duo.
Gotcha.
But I just brought down the twin bead here. It's sitting on top of the 3 seed beads that I put off after the leaf, and I'm going to make a turn through the other hole, that second hole. So just come down through that one. And I do this thing where I kind of hold on to it just to get the tension right. This is all going to get tightened up as we go, but just helping me make that turn as tight as I can. I need 3 more seed beads. And I'm going to go through the leaf. Need 3 more seed beads. And down through the twin beads. Try to go just through the twin if you can. If you end up going through the seed bead below it, that's okay. You can back out of it. But the goal is to just get through the twin bead. So just right there like that. And so what you'll get at first is something that looks like this, and it's going to be all loose and So we're just going to make that tighter. So step 1, to tighten it up, make another turn and come up through that twin bead on the other side. So now we're going to the other side of the leaf, the first side that we strung, and exit from the leaf here. So see, we're down through this side of the twin bead. We made a turn to come up through the second hole, the other side. And I'm going to pull tight, and I need to use my pliers really quick.
And was that because you were running out of room? You needed some assistance from the pliers?
No, I ran into a tight spot, and I wasn't sure why, and so I just said a little hopeful universe. I've been running into tight spots today in my beads. It happened earlier when I was teaching too. I'm not sure if it might be, maybe I'm using a thicker needle today. I'm pretty sure I'm using one of the Beadalon ones, but I have so many needles now that are all loose and that they're not labeled. It's possible I'm like using the wrong needle or something. I should look into that. But here we go.
It's still doing the trick.
It's working like in the moment, and it was really easy to thread it, which also gives me a maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But so from here, let's see, where am I? I exited from this leaf right here. And so where we are in the handout, just to show you again where we're at on this last page, we're here now. We're exiting from right there. And this is what that little jump over looks like. And you can change up these counts, but it looks like I used 6 beads as my crossover, and I changed the colors every time I jumped over it. So for each of these repeats, I went with green to brown to opaque to, looks like I kind of just did a little flyby thing. But here's 6 of those. I'm gonna bring those down. And so here we are, we're at the top of this leaf, right? We're going to cross over to this leaf and come from the bottom and go up and through it. So there's a reinforced one, and it's getting a little better, but I want it to be really perfect, right? So stick with me here because it's kind of a little confusing. We're going to flip our work over. I'm going to flip it this way. So now I'm on the back side. I'm on the bowl side of my leaves. And just grab 3 seed beads, any color, it doesn't matter, whatever one you want. Bring those down, cross over, and go through your leaf on the other side. So right now, where I am, I'm exiting from this one. We flipped it over, and I'm exiting from the top of this one. I'm going to go down through the leaf on the other side, and this time I'm not crossing. So it's top to bottom now.
So we're adding some structure.
Yeah, this is completely structural, and it is optional. If you don't feel like it needs it, don't add it. Skip this part. But I did it because I really wanted a tight finish. So when you're wearing it, it just does not move around.
Very clever.
Oh, thanks. So there's 3, and let's get 3 more. And we're going to make another trip up. So here we are at the bottom of that leaf, right? Let's cross over to this side. Let's go up through this one.
So kind of completing the circle.
Yeah. So here's a nice tight little connection. You could spin it.
Wow.
It's not going anywhere. It's all
That's
reinforced.
so satisfying, Danielle.
Yeah, and the best part is all the repeats. In one swoop, you don't have to travel around to go back or do any of that. So come up through these 3 here. Go through the twin bead. And let's just make one more. Do you think so? We can see it all in one? All put together in one. So I flipped back over my work. So now I'm back on the front side. So the side that's got this little crossover. Well, let's just do it again. Let's switch colors for changing it up. There's 3. Grab a few more twin beads. And I'm going to grab, let's see, so the 3 seed beads. And one thing I wanted to point out is, I don't know if you guys remember, but when we were first making our first dragonfly, we started on this side. And notice we're on the other side now. We're over here. It's going to switch every time, which is great because it's going to move your spiral every time. So it's going to travel like
so pretty.
And it's just going to happen automatically as you go.
I love how you changed the color of that little bridge too each time.
Yeah, and that one I felt like that looked really good, and so I did it again here with this other colorway. Which you're getting that colorway. I think you mentioned.
Danielle sent me that colorway list, so we're gonna have that as soon as it's in that same box that's stuck in customs. I mean, I think it's been released, so we will have those exact colors. But
it's for Shira.
Oh, yeah, it is a really pretty purple mix. I don't think I have more of the green leaves, but I'll have that we'll have another little bonus Danielle mix later, hopefully like next week.
I think this would look great with, I'm not sure if you have more of the brown, but like if I'd seen the brown first, I might have gone, I don't know. There's green in the bike. I don't know. I'm torn. But then I think you still have these on the website. I know because I was eyeing them.
Yeah, we have some of the light green ones, definitely. So that would work.
That would go with the current mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're going to want more of those. Well, so let's see. You got 3 seed beads. I get so distracted. I love beads. I'm going through.
Danielle and I could just chat about bead colors all day long.
We did over drinks.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much. That's so awesome. So I heard Sarah is going to Tucson, so we need to go.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to September Tucson, but I'm definitely going to be at February Tucson.
I think she means February. I'll double check that, but I was just listening in on her live.
Wait, Sarah Lovecraft said she's going to February Tucson?
I think that's what she said. I think so.
Okay.
Anyone who else was there? I know Wanda was there. She's still here.
I was just talking to Neela, and he was saying how must be going to Tucson again. I think this next Tucson is going to be a buzz.
This one could be cool. This one could be very
I think it's going to be like the first really big one back.
Yeah. Because the bead festivals are back, guys. They are back. We're going to make sure they're back. We're bringing them.
Where it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're even kind of doing our own mini one with the Oakland show. We're trying to get Sarah out to it in November.
Yeah.
So that should be
when is that again? November, you said?
It's around November 6th. There's going to be like a little Sam's Bead Shop maker table. So I'll be hosting a chunk of those hours and see if maybe I'll get Shire to host some of those hours. And it'll just be a lovely table. You can come and hang out and socialize and bead. Should be a lot of fun.
That's cool. I must conspire to be there.
Yeah, see if you can make a little family vacay out of it. Because your parents are closer to the Bay than to you.
They are. They are in Sacramento. They're really close to you.
That's not too far. Not too far.
If it was for COVID, I would have already bombed Sam's Bead Shop once or twice. Showed up.
I bet your
leave
mom.
My mom with the kids and take her car. Nothing better.
Oh, I bet your mom would be down here in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, I had so many plans before the COVID thing happened. Oh. Those years were a
little strange.
Yeah. But I just finished the first side there. And so you notice how it jumped over from the side to that side. So it just keeps going like that. Here's the back. Pick up 3 kind of contrasting colors so you guys can see this little optional step here of making the back a little stronger. I feel like it's giving the Dragonfly some landing gear.
Yeah, I can see that. It's also like kind of a whole Dragonfly family.
Yeah. When I get a theme, I just go with it. I go crazy. It's a lot easier to see on that one, I feel like. It's popping a little more. So that's the back. And I'm just going to keep going through here. All the way up through that. Flipping it over to the other side. And so you would just keep doing that till your heart's content, or you run out of leaves and you need to order more leaves, which is what I'm doing. You just keep going. And I did on this one, if you're going with what's in the kit, you'll have enough to do 5 repeats. That's what I did on this one. And I did 6 here. And my recommendation is if you'd like it to be longer, this one is, let's see, this one comes in at 7 1/4 as it is stitched right here. If you want to add length, put more of these beads in here. Or like change this up. This doesn't have to be all the same bead. You can make this different. But this is a great place to add length because if you want your leaves from the kit to work, you'll have enough for 5 sets. And I think that's true for the little baggies too, if I remember correctly. You might have a little extra in some of the baggies. But.
Yeah, I think the strands are like sometimes 20-piece strands. You could like do a whole bracelet of the Dragonfly wings, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could maybe even do more there. Maybe even change the colors and make a rainbow one, like with all different color.
Oh my
kind
gosh.
Of like if somebody went a little crazy on Canva and got a rainbow butterfly. I'm just saying. Somebody had too much fun. So to finish this up, super easy. All you got to do is from here where we are, where the twin bead is, just make another loop here at the top. So this is just a loop of 5 or 6 seed beads. Looks like 5, 6 maybe would have been better, with a lobster claw that is on a jump ring. And you can put that on at the end. You don't have to do it now. And I'm just kind of choosing a random loop just to make it a little more easy to see, kind of exaggerated. Little loop for the top. It's a little bigger than my last one, but just to show you where you can put a good jump ring. Reinforcing it super easy. Just come back through your twin bead on the other side. And if you're wondering about how much does this thread show, it doesn't stand out at all. Like you don't see it. It is definitely visible inside on these twin beads. Try to make that more easy to see, but you can see it there, right? But it's not something that you would even see at all once you're wearing the design and you're looking at it.
Yeah, it's very subtle. We had a question of someone curious, like how you pick what thread color for a project, if it matters.
It doesn't matter unless like you want it to show or you don't want it to show. So if you want it to not show, blend it in as close as you can to the color of your darkest bead, because light thread against a dark bead, I feel like really stands out more.
Mm-hmm.
And dark thread seems to disappear even against a lighter bead easier than a lighter thread against a darker bead. I don't know if Meredith's still here. She can chime in on that one because she had a really good, like, oh, I see. Hey, Jennifer's here. You guys, Jennifer is it okay if I do a shout out for Jennifer?
Yeah, always.
Okay, you guys, she's like so close to 1K subscribers on YouTube. Let's send her to the moon.
I don't even know who Jennifer is, but Jen, let's do it.
She does your bead boxes. She does unboxings of all your bead boxes.
Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm subscribing to her right now. I'm
because she's so close. Well, you know how it is with YouTube. Like once you hit 1K, it's like whoop. So,
yeah. All right, I'm on it.
Yeah,
Jennifer,
and so
okay.
Yeah, and she's on Instagram was like Bella Rain Jewelry. And Softflex just did a really cool article on her, and she said a bunch of nice stuff about me in there.
Oh, I read that article. That was a nice article. Now I'm not connecting all the dots. Alrighty, I am subscriber 946.
You are. Woohoo! Thanks, Sam. Yeah. So, questions about the Dragonfly bracelet or the lariat or anything about?
My first question is like, can any flat style check leaf, like anything top drill that's flat, possibly work with the same technique?
Oh yeah, I think they would work. It would be like where you'd want to change some of the counts, right? So for example, I did 6 beads across from here to here. But and let me bring that darker color out. It's a little easier to see maybe. Is that this count will change. So if you, for example, had one of the littler leaves, the ones that's a little thinner here, maybe you only need 4. And so you'd have to play with that to see what looks good and what kind of makes sense. Or you could even change it up to where there isn't a crossing part, but maybe you just do the little connectors. You could do that on both sides. You don't have to do the crossing over thing.
Mm-hmm. The crossing over is really quite elevated, I feel like.
I do like it. It does appeal to me a lot too. So I would probably try to replicate that by changing the count to make my leaf work.
Awesome. Definitely now shout out any last questions in the comments. We had one question about what is a thread burner that I didn't ask you yet.
Oh.
That you probably could answer very quickly.
Yeah, do you carry it?
I don't currently. I don't currently, but I know lots of folks like to use it.
I think you can get it at Michael's online. You can get it there. It's I don't know if Meredith's still here, but Meredith can point you to lots of places to get. So if you guys know Meredith Roddy, you can just message her, message Sarah Lovecraft, because she also has an affiliate link for Beadalon. Or
that's do it for now. Right now, that's a great way to support Sarah. If you go to Sarah's group, you can use her Beadalon affiliate link and order it through Beadalon, and then maybe eventually I'll have it. There's so many things I want to carry for the shop. Sometimes it's overwhelming, but I know that's when you use a fair amount, right?
That's the one I use, and I wish because I have her affiliate link. I don't have it on my this computer. It's on my downstairs one, but I have it saved there. And I anyone who wants that, I will send it to you. Also, like Nicole has it, and in her group, I believe it's posted there too.
Yeah, and we're slowly adding more of the Beadalon items to the shop. Like right now, we have the Beadalon memory wire, the wildfire, German style wire, and then soon we're going to be adding some of their Beadalon elastic, some of their stringing wire.
Oh, wow.
Like a little selection of small selection of their kind of main items on the site pretty soon.
That's cool.
We're trying to we're trying to make it a little bit easier to find some of these supplies that sometimes shops are out of. You can just come grab some pretty beads and then snag some of the Beadalon items while you're at it. Just kind of restock yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's cool that you're getting the Beadalon. Are you getting all the colors?
We have 5 of the wildfire. We have I think 5 colors on the website.
You said something about Beadalon. The
Beadalon. I think I got all the colors. There's 9 colors. I think I got all of them.
I missed that. I didn't see it. So
no, they're not on yet. That's in the batch that I have to process still. But we have the memory wire, the style wire, and the wildfire on the website right now.
Oh yeah, you have so much to do. I bet you've got boxes of things you got to load. The life of a shop owner.
Oh, it's endless. I have my whole box of silk that I have to get up soon too.
Oh no.
It's that's the best silk. Rachel Malice tried out a bunch of different brands.
She did.
And so the John Bead silk, she has the least, it snaps the least on her.
Oh, that's awesome to hear.
So it was I restocked that one in a heartbeat. So I got mostly the size 6 again, because that's the one that was most popular because it's so versatile.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
We still have a little bit of the size 2 on the website for folks looking for some more using for fine gems, but the size 6 is super versatile. So I'll definitely get that restock up soon because that stuff is awesome.
That's sweet. Great. That's great to hear.
But as far as this class, definitely check the description of this video because we've got lots of links. We might have 1 kit left of what Danielle made today. Otherwise, we are going to be officially sold out of this kit. And that's about from that. But if you still want some of the items, we have some of the individual extras, like this Danielle seed bead mix you can grab on the website. I haven't checked if it's sold out yet, but we made more of Danielle seed bead mix for this. And we've got, of course, the seed bead mix that we talked about. Just look through on the website and do all the things. And the last thing I'll shout out again for folks who join later is we are doing another class together with Danielle at the end of September. I think September 23rd we talked about. And Danielle, oh my God, do you even have?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, y'all, you're gonna get a little sneak peek.
Here, let me shove these Let's hide a little bit here. But there's the little stitchy part. And I took the peanuts. The peanuts are gorgeous. I love the peanuts. And I turned them into a tassel. And it comes up into this little bellflower. You can kind of see how it hangs. It's just really lovely the way it looks.
So this is Danielle's lantern necklace. So we're going to start. The main technique is, of course, that beautiful peyote stitch tube there, that rope.
Yeah. And this is it starts out flat. You just do a very easy even count peyote stitch. The pattern's super easy, and we'll build it step by step. Then you stitch it together into like a little zipper. And then it's glued into these little pegs. And what these look like is they have a little peg opening at the top. Like inside is a 3mm peg that sticks into the tube.
Yeah, so in the kit, you're going to get all 3 of those colors of seed beads, along with all the beads Danielle's using there. So she's the bellflowers and the flowers, the peanuts, the lentils, like all of those beautiful
Full strand
beads.
of that.
Oh yeah, we're not messing around with this kit. And you get those, and you get the glue and caps from, which are a lovely tiara cast item. So that's colorway 1. It's like these greens and oranges, and I love that you've done it in gold. I think it's so perfect.
And this is the German style wire that you've got in the shop.
Nice. And then you did do a second. Danielle's amazing. She did a second colorway of this kit.
I was making these a little bit on the trip. We didn't have as much time as I thought, but I started them.
We have the same kit in a purple colorway, purple and like a little bit of copper from those lentils there.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. And you can make the same tassel also, but Danielle's showing yet another amazing idea, right?
Right. Yeah. All the beads are the same between the 2 kits, just different colors. So you can, for example, you'll have plenty of like the peanuts to make a peanut tassel like this. It just took a really long time, and I wanted to show like a little faster option you could do.
Mm-hmm. But look at those purple colors. Shara, do you see those purple colors? So if you want this kit, it's not out officially yet, but we started like a pre-order wait list. The easiest way to do it is what I showed at the beginning of class is get the Sam's Bead Shop app. That's brand new, and I'm very excited about. Open it up, and at the very top today, I put these 2 kits. So just click on one of them, and you click Add to Waitlist, and you'll be sitting right there on your wait list. And then when we actually officially release this kit early next week, it'll go into your cart, and you'll get a little notification and can get the kit. If you don't have like an iPhone or iPad and can't get the app, I did put the links to this kit in the post, but you have to use those links to be able to join in order for the waitlist to work. This is why I'm saying the easiest way to do it. No links, no nothing. Just open the app and you'll see them there. Try to make this hopefully the app is to make things as easy as possible. So that's the sneak peek of what's coming up in about a month. So definitely snag that kit so you have when it's available so you have it in time.
And did you say there's like a lot of these seed beads in there? You ordered a ton from John Beads. I can't remember like how many you said.
I did. I think I'm going to do about 10 grams per kit.
10 grams?
They're Miyuki's. You did it with Miyuki round, I think.
These are Miyuki, yeah. So you can have a lot of extra.
So we're going to give 4 of the Joy caps in them, the glue-in caps. So folks can either make 2 necklaces, or one of my ideas is we could do a necklace and you could do like a matching bracelet for it too.
Yeah, like I'm picturing, let's see, kind of like with this as like a little dangle, and then we could do 2 more like that.
Let me zoom in. There we go.
Like the bracelet might be like 3 of these, and you could picture this as a little dangle where this connects here, and like I know, it's just a thought of like where maybe we could even have a couple extra patterns going for the little end caps.
Whatever you like. We will do anything you want.
I got a whole month, so this is just what I've got done now. There's gonna be, yeah.
But this is the first time I'm doing peyote with Danielle, so just like I really hope folks will come and try it out. I promise to try the peyote because I have never done it, and I've heard it's a simpler stitch than even sometimes a brick stitch, like a more efficient stitch. So I'm very curious to try it out. So I will be there with my kit. I hope you will be there, folks, with your kit. Go join that wait list and get in line because we're going to have a limited number of each colorway. And yeah, I think that's the main updates. Anything else? Anything coming up for you, Danielle, that you want to shout out?
Got a whole month of Michael's classes lined up. So if you guys want to join
Amazing.
those, yeah, the usual
So
stuff with me.
how do they sign up for your Michael's class?
Oh, if you go to michaels.com/classes and then click on like the jewelry, they're over Zoom, so you get like a Zoom link to sign up. And I'm doing a bunch of like intro back to basics. So this is all beginner, super, super beginner. Whole month of
Wait.
September is all back to school.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so it's perfectly timed. So you'll get an intro to all of the like basic stitches.
Well, that sounds so lovely. Folks, go support Danielle. You can check out her Instagram, Facebook page.
Thanks, Sam.
Danielle has an Etsy shop full of beautiful things, beautiful seed beads. So like, go support Danielle. She is amazing and like a light in this bead world. So
Thanks, Sam.
I'm so glad we got to do this today, and I'm already ready to see you in 1 month. I'm hoping it's
Me
1
too.
month very soon.
Yeah, me too. And it's great to see you at Bead Fest. And congrats on your reward.
You as well.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're signing off. Have a lovely weekend. Don't forget to take some time for yourself to bead, and we'll see you soon.